Hi, this is Joe Chambers. Welcome to Musicians Hall of Fame Backstage. Today is part 2 of an interview we did with Greta Van Fleet in 2021 here at the museum. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new content. Once again, Greta Van Fleet, part 2. Welcome back to Musicians Hall of Fame Backstage with Greta Van Fleet. So your first drum set was
Pearl Export.
Pearl Exports.
Yeah.
I sold a gazillion of those when the Hanson came out.
Yeah. They made about a zillion of those.
That's the only drums we ever sold was when Hanson played Starwood Amphitheater, which is
yeah.
unfortunately gone now. You would have loved it. We sold so many drum sets, and then when they were over, so was our drum sales. You're a Chili Pepper fan?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Chad.
Chad's a friend, and his
He's a
first
Michigan
drum.
guy.
Yeah, his first kit he said was Lincoln Logs and boxes. So
Wow.
you jumped way ahead of him on that, right?
I don't know. You have to start there as
You
a
took-
drummer.
you took
Pots,
pots and
pans,
pans.
and then you work your way
Yeah.
to Tinker Toys. And,
Yeah. Of course, he also said that he used to steal drums before they gave them to him.
Wow.
He said, I'm the Robin Hood of rock now, but I used to have to go in and steal them and run out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chad.
I guess it was for a good cause.
It was a good cause,
It just
yeah.
works out.
Yeah.
Daniel did not start on the drums.
No, I started on guitar.
Yeah, you're a good guitar player.
And I didn't
heard
start
you
on
play.
vocals. I started on drums.
Yeah, it's true.
So that was one of the questions I was going to say. Are you a musician as far as instrument goes?
Yeah,
I mean, I understand your voice is an instrument, but I mean, a foreign instrument.
Or is it?
I would say I don't know. Sam doesn't.
I would say it's more kind of like a
doesn't think
string
that the
zither.
voice is an instrument. So it's I guess up for the masses to decide.
Josh is definitely
No,
a musician.
jury's still out on
yeah, I
that.
kind of started on. My father had a drum kit because again he was dabbling with that, and I would get. I'd always playing on the
Josh
drums.
and I used to play guitar and drums together.
Yeah, I'd be on drums and Jake would be on.
We'd kill it with like fake
electric.
band names and stuff. and
All
play
kinds
the
of
bass.
terrible band names.
Awful.
Yeah, but then eventually I we had a piano in the house, so and my grandmother had bought the piano years ago and moved into our house, so we would reach up and play it, and so I knew my way around the kit and
The one unique thing that
keys.
we all have, and I think is an advantage for us, is that we're all multi-instrumentalists, and we all can kind of view something in a different way, and we all speak these different languages to a certain degree, and it's been really helpful for writing and many other forms of creativity, I suppose.
Yeah, you can become empathetic, or you can put yourself in somebody else's position, or think differently in the context of a different instrument.
Right. So do you ever foresee, Josh, you jump in on the drums and you jump in on
We've
front
done
guitar?
it.
You have?
We've done it once.
Well,
Well, I've done it.
a couple
done my homework.
times.
In our
I mean,
own
as far as
time.
live is concerned,
Yeah.
a couple times, but
that's what I mean.
I'm no
Yeah.
Daniel Wagner, so I don't. I just.
Well, I'm no Sam Kiska, but I was playing the bass.
I think the fans would kind of enjoy something like that, though. And
Yeah.
They ate it up.
It was,
Okay.
What was
a
that?
good, it was a
Melbourne?
good
It was
show.
Australia,
Australia,
definitely.
Yeah.
There's something was you had injured your.
Yeah, I had pulled like a rib muscle, so it was kind of tougher to play the long shows, and we thought, well, we can jam, so
Let's do
throw
it
in,
12
let's switch
bars.
out. I won't play drums. I'll just play bass for maybe a 10-15 minute jam, and then it eats up a part of the set.
You did a
And,
blues jam.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you played
12 bar.
some harmonica, Jake, didn't you?
Yeah.
Jake came out,
Took
played.
out Pop's old trick, some
Yeah.
harp.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love harmonica. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, have other people told you what I think is I've kind of watched you, which you would expect to happen, but progress musically, talent-wise, over the last few years? I mean, I think you guys have grown into your instruments since I first started listening to you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
It was always their father too. We always had rehearsals at their house in their garage, and we would go on vacation every once in a while, and he would just occasionally step out into the garage and kind of point out, you guys are getting better. Just, thanks, and then he would leave. And
That makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
it really does.
I mean, that can-
It's such a confidence.
Sometimes you
booster.
can't even explain why you're floating, but somebody says something, and it means more than getting paid $1 million sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's credentials. Maybe it's just,
You got to have confidence. If you don't, if somebody's constantly browbeating you, even if you're great at something, you can't do it because you're so nervous.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why, I mean, and it's easier said than done, but fear is something we try to remove from the equation because it really can hinder, the creative process and a performance and all of that.
Well, y'all look totally at ease on stage. I like you, even it probably more at home there than here right now.
Stage is pretty cozy.
Strength in numbers. I think that we're a unit, the band itself. I think that it lends itself to that confidence and that communication with the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we grew up sort of playing. We've had it's seen as that we blew up very quickly. So we took off in a rocket very quickly. But in reality, 5 years prior to that, we were in the garage. We were playing biker shows, guns a-blazing. It was like we were working as trying to be musicians.
In and out of-
which is why when someone says you're a great musician, it's one of the greatest. I think to us, one of the greatest compliments.
You heard what
I can
Neil Young
give
said
is-
on the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And we completely resonate with that type of ideology. But over the years, the last 4 years of touring, I think we really have evolved as musicians. We've really come to a new, we formed a new relationship with the instruments that we strap over in our backs or every night to go out and play.
It's a fun
Once you're
push and
comfortable
pull.
in your own
Yeah.
skin,
Mhm.
everybody can see it. If you're
Yeah.
panicked, they can smell it,
Right?
and the unmerciful.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
if you have that air of confidence, which you guys have, people are just they want to be winners, and so I
Yeah.
think you guys are doing that. So, what made you know that you needed to write original material? I mean, if not, you'd just be a cover band.
Yeah, well, I think we were always writing stuff, just growing up, I would be just singing and making up songs and playing on the piano. We would just always be writing. I think that inclination comes from hearing something and not being able to grab a vinyl and turn it on because it doesn't exist. I guess that's why the artist creates anything to provide, something that the universe cannot. You just kind of, and I think that so as soon as we were together making music, it wasn't just playing the stuff we loved, but it was creating new stuff. Borrowing, stealing like artists in a way. Kind
Everybody bars.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that was always kind of there from the beginning. From day one.
I think evolution takes hold when you take the framework and you break it, and stomp on it, and you create something that hasn't already previously existed.
We formed this band to make music
Yeah.
from
Okay,
the very
so-
get-go.
So here we're Greta Van Fleet. We're in a rehearsal hall or hotel room or something. What's the usual process for? As a country writer, a lot of times we would come up with a title, and then try to make the music fit the lyrical content. Jake, do you come in with a riff, or Josh, do you come in with a lyric or verse? Or
It's really interesting. This is like the most, I think, variable, dynamic part of the chemistry with us is it's completely different every single time. That there's never one absolute consistent process. There's never. We're trying different things, and we we'll go 2 hours out. We'll go down to Chattanooga or something. We'll rent a cabin in the woods, and we'll be stuck there for weeks. And then it's always like you wake up, you hear Sam playing something on the keys. You're like, that's great. What is that? And then that becomes
Right.
the entire ethos of something. That becomes a song because it just strikes a chord. Or I've been in my room working on some guitar part, or Danny comes in with a guitar part, or Josh comes in with something on the keys. It sort of starts with this framework, I suppose, and it could be a lyric, it could be a melody, even. Then it's just different. Every song is different, and so we have to serve them independently as well in that same way.
and all you guys write.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And when you write a song, does everybody's name go as the band, or
Yep.
that's a cool thing to do because it'll save you a lot of grief.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
And it
though.
makes everybody
It really is.
part of,
Yeah.
But speaking of what you said, life in the fast lane,
Yeah.
Joe Walsh was doing this exercise.
Norma.
Dust in the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
His wife said, "What is that?" And he goes, "That's just a finger. You need it."
We've had those too.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
Yeah, a lot of
I mean,
that
what
happens.
was one song it's on the record that's coming out called "The Way to Dreams"? We were in Pennsylvania somewhere. Danny's hands were badly beaten, and it was just something playing, and just some little riff, some little lick, some line, some motif, and someone's like, "That sounds great. Let's use that as like a transition
Right.
piece," and
Yeah.
it turned into a song.
So I love this new song a lot. This Broken Bells. Did you do that?
Kind of.
I mean, I saw you playing acoustic guitar somewhere.
Yeah, it goes back to like 2016. I remember we were in the van on the way to Chicago, and Josh and I were sitting in the very back seat and kind of just pulled out our phones and started just playing a bunch of bullshit. Started writing, and then we went through 30 minutes of random stuff, and then found this one that was like, oh, that was pretty cool, and then we kind of extrapolated on that on the way back from Chicago, and then
Yeah, it was all just development from that point
Yeah,
on.
I mean,
Yeah.
we kind of at the meat of the song, just almost instantaneously.
Lyrics.
Of course, that we put out off for,
6 years.
yeah, a long time.
But it's a new single, isn't it?
It
Right
is.
now,
Yes.
It was
it's
written.
being March of 2021.
It was started the writing process like 6 years ago.
Yeah,
A couple of songs on the new album.
you don't want to
actually,
put them
like
out too quick.
No.
He lived on his shelf for long enough to
Yeah.
collect some dust, and then we pulled it
Yeah,
off.
let it simmer, yeah.
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 That's
We
cool.
treated that song like Dad treated Jake in guitar. You have to mature
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, you know what, though? Honestly, once you become accomplished at writing and you come on something that's, you'll know if it's average or good most of the time. You don't want to blow it. You don't want to just rush it to get through to it. Okay, we got another song.
Right.
When you get those magic moments, and they don't come that often, usually, you want to take it as far as you can, because it could change your life. It could be you may think you've already had your career record with Highway Song or something, but you may not have come close to having it yet, because
Yeah. I think that's an interesting thing. So many people ask us, like, well, when, capture the lightning before the spigot runs out. There's, the last drop of water has fallen. But it's interesting because if there's usually a singular process that most people like to they're working with, and something eventually drains the creativity or something. And it's so amazing about the way that we sort of work in the creative process is that there's so many different ideas, that we're not just a solo act. We're not just one guy with a guitar playing, and that there's so many ideas between Daniel and Josh and Sam and myself that it's really kind of interesting.
And we do like to leave space and communicate in a nonverbal way. It's just like a musical language. That's like the most fun.
you mean you want the song to breathe some and
Yeah.
And to like what you said, it's interesting. I mean, to like the album that we've finished now, our next album will be very different than that, and so on and so forth to the previous.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that
think
can-
the well will only run dry if you stick to a formulaic means of production.
Right.
If you stick to the same method of writing a song.
We were very much, away. We were not interested in putting the song on a conveyor belt,
Yeah.
and have
Never.
it
Yeah.
go down the line.
Well, I
Beating
think
it to death.
there's a trap you can fall in. You're going to have diehard fans that are going to like, no, this is Greta Van Fleet. You can't alter that sound, But on the other hand, you look at the Beatles.
Yeah.
They altered their look and their sound 4 times at least, and it was like 4 new bands, And I think that can prolong your longevity for many years if you continue to, which I think you will grow like you guys are going.
Yeah.
So you've traveled the world. Do you have a favorite concert you've done?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Such a
Very
tough
tough.
question.
I don't know.
Every concert's very
Yeah, it's
different.
I would say right
They are.
here. This is the best one.
This is one of the good
Actually,
ones.
municipal auditorium.
That
was
but-
really
yeah.
wonderful.
Stairs.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there's a 10,000 seat, very historic arena above us, the Nashville Historic Municipal Auditorium,
Yeah.
opened in 1962. And like I tell people, the Beatles and Hendrix didn't play here. Other than that,
Just about every.
just about
about
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
That
another
was
one of those
a
things.
wonderful show.
I suppose you
A
get
lot
to
of
check
fun.
off the list because of its,
Did you
significance.
video it?
No, I don't think we
think
did
we
film
did.
it.
Hmm.
Wish we would have.
I wish we had. We
Yeah.
just have to
No,
come
we
back.
should.
It's always retrospection or something like, yeah,
Right, we
probably
should
would have been a good idea.
record it.
Actually, I think
lot.
there's footage from the show in the My Way Soon
Oh
video.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there,
Super
but we
8.
did shoot Super 8 stuff there actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of my favorite shows are in South America.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask. Was outside of the states,
Yeah.
what's
I
your
think
favorite place to
outside
play?
of the States?
Like
Some of
Bologna
them
was
maybe-
a
I was about to say
Bologna
it's,
was an amazing show. It was
Italy,
just, I mean, there was a field of people that just as far as the eye could
It's
see.
huge. It was, I think it was about.
And I'd never worn a jumpsuit, but I zipped onto the jumpsuit, got on stage, and it was like,
Was it
we
the
have
first time
arrived.
you
It was
ever
great. It
wore one of
was
those?
really exciting. And lots of
Yeah.
people came, very, very interesting people.
Now,
and
was this a
friends.
Greta Van Fleet show, or was it a show with other artists?
This was a Greta Van
It was a
Fleet
Greta
show.
show, was.
I think it was about 17 or 18,000 people. The day started with the heaviest rain you've ever seen in your life.
That's right.
I got
Yeah.
invited to go an hour away and drive Lamborghinis.
That's right.
And,
It's a good day for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it
long
was a-
day.
I was
Good
I was
day for
pent up
everybody.
practicing some licking. I remember that fond, like pretty fondly.
I was meeting with some gentleman that came in. I was a fan of his work. I thought he could do the album art,
Yeah.
the new album art. So he came out.
Oh,
We got
snippet.
talking, and
Snippets of
Yeah.
time.
it was a wild day.
But then everybody showed up despite the rain.
Now,
Great
was that
audience.
a normal hour or a Lamborghini hour, or what?
Who knows? Just like this was like Musicians Hall of Fame. It was like 25 minutes, I think we were in there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I hear you. Well, what's the due date on the release on the album?
Oh, boy.
April 16th.
Yeah, 16th.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, somewhere there.
I believe that says.
So, I mean, how are you looking at, like,
Maybe.
I mean, the business is like totally changed from when I was in it. There's just not, that I know of, record sales much anymore. I mean, not trying to get into your business, but I mean, it's pretty, I think, is it kind of like it was in the 50s, where it's mostly you're making your money on the road, or
Definitely making
And airplay.
money on the road. And
that's the great thing about you, all of you being writers here. ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, what do you?
well, the other great thing is we love to play live. A
What was
lot
that?
of
ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, what are you
It's
writers?
a great question.
Let's
you know?
see. Business.
I think it's BMI.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds,
Yeah.
that's
So all
right.
of you
That's right.
get
Yeah.
quarterly, or
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a big thing for you,
Yeah.
Have you bought houses?
I have not.
Do you even
I
need a
did.
house yet?
I hope
did.
not. I fear domestication.
Yeah. It's
Like I'm not ready for
deadly
that.
Yeah.
I'm not ready
Yeah,
for that.
it was at the beginning of the pandemic, and we all decided that we needed to be somewhere instead of just being troubadours, just going around the globe.
I suppose
doing
that
our-
was our home. The
That
road
was our home.
Nashville was that place.
So
that,
this,
yeah, it made a lot of sense. And
It forced us to domesticate in some way or
Well,
another.
we in and out all the time. You know?
Right, I was going to say, do you even,
If we're in the
Yeah.
United States, we're between New York, Nashville, or Los Angeles.
Right.
And we were here so often, and so much
Yeah.
of our. I mean, so we also grew up coming down here. Our grandparents lived in
Crossville.
Crossville.
Yeah, so every summer
So
we come down.
We
and
come down here,
go
like
camping
Ozone
and-
Falls and stuff. We'd be camping over there in a lot of those regions. So it was also really familiar to us in some way.
didn't y'all record it? Was it Blackbird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd you like that?
Loved
It
Blackbird.
was great. Yeah, we
Fantastic.
recorded Anthem of the Peaceful Army in Blackbird.
And
Now, he's got a
McBride.
microphone collection.
Oh, John is
Only-
We got
hell of
to
a guy.
line them all up. You know, it's
Yeah.
like just got to sing into every one. You know, they had all the channels and everything going. It was like,
Oh, he's a
ooh.
huge Beatle fan. Speaking of that,
Oh, yeah.
have you guys ever? I don't think you've recorded it at
A room.
no in London
Oh.
at Abbey Road.
No,
No,
I mean,
No.
Yeah.
have
Do
you
you want that
been
to be
on
on your bucket list?
I would
Maybe
at
that's
least
on the
like to
bucket
see it.
it? Right.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine
from the
went over.
inside.
But
He
just
said
like
they've got all the mics and the drawers and the keyboards and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, they
Which you
really,
can use.
they really invented
Yeah.
a sound there, and I think that's what's so amazing about it. But EMI doesn't come with the Beatles.
Unfortunately.
That's true.
Again, that's my point. It's tools, but
Right.
the thing about it though, I can't get inspired playing a pink polka dotted guitar.
No.
Now, if it's a beat up 57 V-neck Strat,
Maybe Randy
that
Rhoads or
I want to pick that up.
Yeah.
The other I reject.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
This
but
tool looks too. It's funny.
this tool's too not me.
Yeah.
It's a tool
Yeah.
in another way. All right, hey, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.